I hope you visited the day one, okay, that is using how we are moving from raw semantic kernel to Microsoft AI agents. Please go through that. The next video which I am preparing right now, it is a customer service again, but in depth using Microsoft AI agent persistence. So I discussed in the last video the difference between what is the response pattern and the persistence. And here we will show how to use the persistent AI agent with memory with an example. So what we will build a real persistent customer support agent. We will use Azure AI Foundry integration. We have shown the Azure AI Foundry integration in the day one, but not in that detail from the persistent AI agent, but we have given a just a overview how persistent AI agent work or what is persistent AI agent, what is persistent thread cycle, what we will discuss everything. Multi-turn conversion memory, AS100 core API definitely. So I get testing. We are using all this. So the difference is earlier all the videos whatever I have made using .NET Core, AI Foundry. The new thing is that Azure AI agents instead of using the raw semantic kernel, and also we have used Azure CLI authentication because we are integrating with the Microsoft Azure Foundry using the subscription and the the authentication. Swagger is for the displaying there's all the API endpoints for testing. So why not simple chat completion? So state I have already discussed, right? Persistence and the response pattern. Response pattern is stateless. Persistence where you can use the contextual data already saved. Say for example you are mentioning what is your order, and the second request you are sending, and the LLM replied, "Can you just share the order number?" You are sharing the order number is this. So if you don't use memory, again if you ask what is my order number, then again the LLM will ask what is your order number. But if you use the memory, it can actually use the contextual data and give you, okay, this is your order number. So definitely you don't want a stateless scenario for important discussions, like in the, you say for example you are using Amazon, Flipkart, okay, and you have some issues with the any delivery. Forget about that. Even Zomato, Swiggy also, right? You are asking what is the status of my order, the order is delivered or not, order have a issue. So you can take a help of this persistent AI agent, which will remember your order number. So once you give you the order number, it will not ask you again. But if you use the stateless, then it will again you will asking multiple times because it is not using any memory. So that is the biggest hurdle. That's the reason we are using micro persistent AI agent, and that is being leveraged using Microsoft AI agent NuGet package. So conversation continuity, right? You talk to Amazon customer care of Flipkart. So you have to continue, right? You can see the list of products, then you choose the product ID, or you can choose the order number, and then customer care start helping you with your queries. So what is the architecture? We have customer Swagger. We will there is no UI actually been introduced as like a React, but we will do in future once we build up everything with these AI agents. We have already shown a React API, React UI in the KYC agent using hardcore semantic kernel. But this is a new series where we have started building up from the beginning using Microsoft AI agent. So we will bring the UI also, but in the later videos. So Swagger UI, you have a definitely the .NET Core. Now the real game start from this, right? Customer support agent service. This service will actually call this persistent SDK, and the persistent SDK internally use this persistent agentic client for thread, message, run, all these things to be maintained, and it will interact with the Azure Cloud Foundry and persistent customer agent, and ultimately it will go to the LLM model. The program.cs, the API endpoint, customer service.agent will actually talk to the Microsoft AI agent, and the domain will handle the chat request, response, thread, and everything. So Azure setup, same Azure setup we have already. Just to remember, home. So Azure Cloud Foundry we have created, and the project is default project. These two are very important. And we are using the GPT-O model. And one when you log or when you start the application, we have to use the Azure CLI to log into the, because we are using right authentication using Azure CLI credential. So it is important. So persistent, as I mentioned. So when you say give you the order, what is your order number, what is your tracking number, anything, it will remember, right? And we will create the agent through code, and the agent will return this agent ID using assist underscore something. Thread cycle, it will give you a thread ID actually, which will help you to manage the session. So this is the agent we will create. We will show that once the agent is created, that agent will be used while creating the thread. Then thread will give you a thread ID. The same thread ID we will use in the chatting with order number and it will remember. But if you change the thread again, it will again ask you what is your order number because it cannot remember. So thread ID actually help you to maintain the session. So code flow, we will create thread, we will add message. These things you can see from the Microsoft AI agent persistent. See client.run, client.message, client.thread, client.run, client.message. This will thing will come up. So demo is like we'll create an agent first. First we will log into the Azure CLI using to the Microsoft Azure portal, and then we will create the thread. We will request something and it will give you the data. So debugging while actually preparing the solution, I faced some issues. Just I am telling you that SDK is very important. AI agent, which version you are using, because that higher version has changed the code. So I just mentioned what was earlier, what is the new code. Authentication, default credential will not work. So better to use Azure CLI credential. You have to do a Azure login. If you have multiple tenant, specifically pick up which tenant you want to use. And agent ID, right? When once you create the agent, it will give you agent ID using assist underscore XXX. So what is we are discussing the persistence again? We are giving you a personal response. As I said, memory not maintained in the response pattern. For persistent, we are thread continuity yes, stateless in the response. Customer support is good with persistent because you have to remember order ID or employee ID and multi-step workflow. So we'll go do a demo of order number or anything. We'll see. So let's go to the demo. This is our end-to-end flow. So client, Swagger and everything, API, post thread, creating thread, message, run, all are part of this agent service. Microsoft AI Agent SDK we are using that will help you to give you this leverage these functions. Azure Cloud Foundry, conversational thread, solution you already will discuss in the solution part. Technology stack, post thread, how the conversation happens. Where is my order? Please provide the order number. Order number is this. Order number is in the way. Persistent lifecycle, create thread, add user message, create run, poll the run status, and get response. So this is overall persistent AI agent. Have a look into this diagram and then we'll move to the demo. Two, we have created as I discussed, API, agents, and domain. What is an API? We have program.cs where we are actually creating an agent. We will show how we are creating agent. Then we will create a thread, and using that thread, we will start conversation. These three are very important. Now we will go to the agent. So you can see Azure identity because we are using Azure CLI credential, Azure AI agent persistent we are using. So if you go inside that, the endpoint and everything we are already configured. Now you will create a thread, it will give you ID, and then you will pass the message. So you can see we are not writing any prompt and everything. It will only we are calling the AI agent, make the AI agent persistent to do all the activities. We will debug and show you. So first we have to create an agent, and before creating the agent, we have to connect to the Azure, Azure CLI. So I already connected. You can see that we have used the command az login tenant. How we have picked up? You go over there. So our default directory is this one, F7 to DD99. So we have used this one. We have connected. We got the data. Now we are connected. Now what we will do? We will create an agent. What type of agent? Say for example, we will create an agent. So customer support agent persistent suppose demo. This is the agent name, right? And we are giving the responsibilities, help customer with orders, refund, delivery, any delivery, package delivery, escalation support, be polite. Huh? So now we will show you by debugging. So customer service will manage by these three. We will first create a agent. So it came over here. It will create this. We are calling that AI agent with model and everything. Name, professional, right? If you want to go inside, you can go. So the agent has been created and the ID is this, remember. So this agent ID has came. So how we will check that? Okay, so agent has been created as I said demo. You can see the timing. If you go inside, see this is the ID. See B1ZQS. So what we will do now? We will use this. Now we will create the thread. The thread ID is created. So using the thread, say for example, I'm asking what is, where is my order? So it is, so I am happy to help you. Can you please provide me with the order number? So I'm giving you the order number. My order number is 1234. See, thank you for providing the order number. I will check the status. See, it is giving the output, right? Again, we will ask, what is my order number? It should remember, right? Since it is a persistent. Okay, let's try the same different thing. I'm creating new thread. I am just telling the my customer agent कि my package delivery is late. See, it is saying, I'm sorry to hear your package delays. Could you please share me the tracking number? Right. So let me put you my tracking number is TR1234. It is saying, thank you for providing a tracking number. Let me check your status of your one moment, please. What is my tracking number? Unfortunately, I don't have the access. If you have any order information or email, it typically contains the number. Okay. So where is my hope you understand. I have to check also. Okay, why it is not coming, but hope you got an idea like what is persistent agent. It will typically remember the number and it will return back. Okay, if I try and do an error trial and error method, the video length will be high. So better. Hope you got my point, like what exactly you are trying to do. So